welcome to Crissy's Clucky Chronicles YouTube channel, CrissyOShow.com. I'm Crissy O, of course I am. They think I got snackies. I do not have snackies. But anyway, I promised you guys an update on the Guinea Keets, so that's what today's going to be all about. Y'all please stop pecking me on the back of my legs. That is not nice. Anyway, let me flip this camera around and show you guys the Guinea Keets, where they started, where they've moved to, all kinds of goodness. They're eating my ankles up right now. Oh my gosh. Thanks for joining and watching and subscribing. Ow, dang it. This is the last place that we had the Guinea Keets. We had them over here. I've got some straw in here that I've got to put out and everything. So this is where they were. And if you recall, while I walk through all of our cleanup stuff that we've been working on and doing down here. Hey, Nanaroo. Hello, Nanaroo. How are you doing, my friend? Are you doing okay? Yeah, he's doing all right. He's trying to fancy dance somebody. It ain't gonna be me. Anyway, we got some old pallets we've got to take up and do away with. Right now, I'm just leaving them like this because of the ants and stuff. So they were in this little thing here, in this little pen that we made with the coop attachment to it. So they were here. Wasn't really a big deal. They grew up in this little area once they got out of the brooder, out of the house. So they hear my voice, which is so cute. So here they are. What we did was we closed it off this afternoon and we moved them out here to be in the chicken yard. It's a new area. There's Diane doesn't seem to mind being around them too much. But they're just as cute as they can be. And I'm just letting them run around here on the chicken yard because tonight's going to be the first night that we put them up in the barn with the rest of the floofs. So, you know, it's going to be quite interesting and quite fun to see them interact with everybody. Now, they've already been seeing everybody, been having conversations with everybody. They've been doing their own guinea things, you know. And, sorry about all the limbs and all the stuff out here. We have had some, woo, y'all, we have had some rain. We have had some stuff going on up in here. And they're so cute. They see something, but they're trying to decide, is it food for them or not food for them? They're so stinking inquisitive. I just love them. So the two, they call them lavenders, but, you know, they're gray. Obviously, but they call them lavender Keets. That's Lolly and Gibby. And then the other four are the pied Keets. Those are the ones that I got from the Lassiter farm. Really super precious little babies. And we have gotten them out a little bit here and there. And we have let them roam around two at a time. Mostly Lolly and Gibby, the two lavender ones, because Binky and Sweetie and Figgy and Gilly are very still kind of scared-ish of everything and everybody. So it's kind of nice that we have them here and all together on the yard. Yes, Dale, I know. Dale would like to get back into the pen. Dale wants to get in here. You want to come in, Dale? Come on, Dale. Diane, would you like out? Dale, would you like in? They kind of like to get in and out of the place so they can kind of... Dale's not very smart. She kind of likes to run around. Diane's like, hey, what are y'all doing? I'm just walking around picking up food. Now, Tammy's been super nice, this one. Tammy's been super nice to the guineas. They, guineas are not all that bright, but you know what it is. They're great. I got them for they're eating all the ants up, you know, any ticks, they feast on ticks and a lot of bugs. It's like my cleanup crew. Sorry about that, Dale. Dale's finally in. I don't know how many girls versus boys I have yet, because I'm not well versed at telling who's who, you know what I mean? So I don't really know. I really don't. I don't really know who's who out there in the guinea world, like some of you guys do. As far as owning guineas, this is going to be my first rodeo with them. As far as being around guineas, or guineas on the farm, or guineas growing up, being around them, yeah, we've been around guineas. They've used to run all over the place like crazy. But as far as them, you know, owning them or anything like that, nah, I can't really say. But they are absolutely just as precious as they can be. And they walk in like these, they're like, we're not sure, Mama, what's going on over here, but we're in here. Aren't you babies cute? Now, they have their little honks sometimes. The majority of the time, they are just doing their peeps and tweeps and stuff. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see or hear what they do once they get more well-versed. My goal is that they won't run off into the 12.5 acres of woods we have here, and then we're going to have an issue. That's my goal, is to keep them here on our little farm. So I'm hoping they will. And if not, you know what? We'll just buy some more. Hey, babies, you're so pretty. Look at you cute little babies. We do have one that bites, and that's Binky. You're so adorable. So Binky bites. And, well, I don't know why. Have no clue. You know, trying to get used to things. A little nervous, but that's kind of what they do. I'm going to go give them some scratch grains here in just a little bit, just to kind of ease them down. We've been giving them feed and food and stuff all during the day, so they've been good with that. They kind of want to go back out into the yard, but they got to settle in a little bit first before I make that happen. Now, being that guineas are such different little birds than what most people have out on a homestead or farm or whatever, a lot of people do have guineas, but they're a completely different bird, especially if you've ever worked with them for the first time. They're not as snuggly, huggly, friendly. I did work with them, hand raising as best I could. The pods already had some age on them, so it was kind of non-existent to be able to work with the pods, the 4 that I got from the other farm. And I struggled a lot with that because I'm so used to either hatching my own or having floofs that get really used to just me and my family and sitting on us or letting us do cuddles and snuggles, and it just really seriously wasn't happening with these 4. So I'm hoping that they'll hang around. Now, when I did get the 2 lavenders, which were much younger in age, they were about a day, maybe a day or 2 old when I got them freshly hatched, the lavenders. It was easier to hand raise them. They're much friendlier. They will let us pick them up. They will let us rub them. That's Gibby and Lolly. They will let us rub them. So it wasn't too bad as far as that goes. Their food, now what they do like to eat is, I feed them the wild game bird feed. They like that. It doesn't have too much protein and too much stuff in it to where it makes them sick and crap out on you, like my turkeys did. Anyway, so they've been eating wild game bird feed, the same thing we feed our quail. They will peck at, you know, everything. Literally, they've been eating so many ants and bugs and stuff, which is great. That's what I want them to do. And scratch grains. They really love scratch grains. But how I've been training them and working with them is mealworms. So mealworms is, that's their deal right now. So when I get the bag, they see everybody else run to the other barn to get stuff out of the feed barn to grab the bag of mealworms to bring it out. And I shake the bag and there's like, dinner bell, mama's coming, woohoo, this is so good. So they're used to that now, and they see all the other chickens and the ducks and everybody else, how they kind of flip out when we come around with the mealworms. So hopefully over the next couple of weeks they will get more acclimated to that. Right now I think I'm just going to keep them in the fenced in larger chicken yard for now, just because I don't want any of them to run off just yet. And in here, if I need to corner somebody and grab them and pick them up, and maybe if the chickens don't like them in the barn, then I can get them out easy and go put them back in the larger pen that we already had set up. So I don't know, it might be a hit or miss. We'll just keep you posted on the guineas. Let's go take another peek at them if they'll be still. They're in between peeps and honks right now. They got that little car alarm sound going on every once in a while, but only when you pick them up or mess with the pods. They're very inquisitive little rascals, and they do like to get out and they do like to roam. But like I said, I'm just trying to keep them here the best I can, and hopefully nobody gets missing or gone. And they're not full grown yet. They're several weeks old, but you know, I know guineas love to do their own guinea thing, but they are cute. And if y'all have any guineas on your farm or homestead, or you're thinking about getting guineas, they're real fun. They're real fun. They're not going to be as, you know, dainty as your chickens or as sweet as your chickens, but anyway, they're just really cute. They're cute, they're fun, they're loud, I can tell you that. They're super loud. So if you don't like loud, I mean, I wouldn't get them. But as far as cleanup crew, yeah, these vulture headed looking things, they can do that. And you can work with them and hatch them to the point that you can get them friendly. There are people that do have super friendly Guinea Keets. It's just these 4 pods are very skittish versus my 2 lavenders that I can get. Those 2 lavenders I can get a hold of really easy. But the other 4, oh, they scream like you just mashed their toe or something. But I do like their sound. You can see how curious everybody is, and they're like, hey, why are these babies in here? Like, mama, why are they in here? Dale, do you need a little help with that? Diane doesn't seem to be bothered. Dale's like, I don't care, I'm getting some watermelon. The babies are like, hey, why are y'all all staring at me in here? It's going to be a balance, and they've got to get used to it. Hopefully Lisa and Tony over here, it's Lisa and Tony over there. Nana-roo, that's not nice. Hopefully they don't pick on them. So far the rest of them are not picking on them. They're just doing their chicken things. And Nana-roo actually loves babies. He's a good, as far as a baby daddy, he really don't care whose babies they are. He's actually really good with them. Nana-roo, I'm talking good about you, not smackety smacks. Anyway, that's going to do it for the Guinea Keets today. We've just moved them around different places. Now they're out on the big yard. They're just going to do their thing out there, and I'll let you guys know over the next couple of weeks how everybody gets along, and if anybody like roosts in a tree or flies away. I mean, the potential is there. Nana-roo's arguing because we never have the gate closed, especially when they're free ranging. We always have them, you know, have it open so they can go in and out freely. So he's a little upset as like, Mommy, why do you have these babies in here? And why is my gate closed? Anyway, so we're just going to keep doing this in short little spurts until we figure out what works best for all the flocks and all the floofs. They're all flying around out there acting crazy. So hope you guys have a fabulous day, and if you have Guinea Keets, let me know what you think. What kind of Guinea Keets do you have? I think it'd be fun to find out. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe and share and join and just be a flock star. Hey Tammy. Anyway, I'm gonna go feed some snackies to the babies, and we'll check you guys on the flip side. So don't forget, when we hit 1,500 subscribers, if you're subscribed to the channel and you're part of our monthly email list on ChrissyOShow.com, you're going to get my free recipe book before it goes for sale on the website. So, alright. My duck's fighting with my chicken, so let me go. Bye, y'all. If you can't be good, just be good at it. Stop that.